very pleased to bring you the next item, 4.01, and that is a presentation on our community school model. This is a wonderful opportunity to highlight and showcase updates and progress related to our community school model and the tremendous work of our FACE team. And so Adrienne Cole-Johnson and Nicole Boone are here to provide us that presentation. I'll turn it over to them.
All right. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the school board, and Dr. Cashwell. It's a pleasure to be here today alongside Nicole Boone, our incredible Assistant Director, to share updates on our Family and Community Engagement Division. Engagement is at the heart of how we connect with our stakeholders, and we're excited to highlight key initiatives that strengthen our commitment to student outcomes and impact. Speaking of our commitment, our dedication remains strong. We're focused on 3 key actions: building resource-rich school communities, bridging high-impact partnerships, and boosting transformative family engagement. This commitment also aligns with our adoption of the National Community School Model, reinforcing the why behind our approach and the work we do every day. As our work has evolved, so has the community school model. And what started as 4 foundational pillars has now expanded into 6 key principles. This evolution makes sure that our schools are not just places of learning, but hubs of opportunity, support, and belonging for all students and families. I'll hand this portion of the presentation over to Mrs. Boone, who will share specific highlights of how these pillars and principles show up in our unique Henrico model.
Thanks, Adrienne, and greetings, school board members and Dr. Cashwell. Our first highlight surrounds collaborative leadership initiatives that are providing consistent opportunities for stakeholders to connect and engage. Through our many active PTA groups, biannual faith leaders luncheons, and additional committee opportunities, Henrico exemplifies dedication to parent and community voice. Our school impact committees are a recent addition to our collaborative leadership efforts. These committees include students, parents, community partners, administrators, and school-based staff that solve for school-related goals in dynamic and creative ways. Through the work of our school impact committees, schools have been able to identify opportunities for volunteers to support their efforts with the goal of enhancing student outcomes and community involvement. Just this year, with funding from the VDOE, we have been able to launch a seed opportunity to support schools with the initiatives they have outlined. Notable efforts include Longdale Elementary's BMX show, Baker Elementary's Man Up Garden initiative, Morning Math with Moms at Johnson Elementary, and Henrico High's TLC program, just to name a few. The success of our family and community engagement efforts is truly about partnerships. Every achievement we've attained has been a product of working together and alongside others. As we create meaningful and relevant opportunities, we experience better outcomes for our learners. Continuing the theme of partnerships, our extended learning collaborators are quickly growing. Partners offer a variety of programs, both free and fee-based, to support academic success, enrichment, and student engagement. During the 24-25 school year, we have been able to provide new and innovative out-of-school time programming. In partnership with Henrico Prevention Services, we are able to offer the Connect program on-site at the Oak. Students from various neighborhoods receive academic support and life skills development. Similarly, with the Henrico Education Foundation, we have a collaborative high school-based community learning center, combining Varina and Highland Springs high schools, providing academic and enrichment beyond school hours. Last but not least, Rise Up Wilder is where students receive academic assistance featuring hands-on learning, fitness and coding opportunities in partnership with VCU and Capital One Coders. With these diverse programs, we are continuing to expand opportunities to ensure all students, regardless of background, have access to meaningful learning experience that support both academic and personal growth. At the heart of our family and community engagement efforts is the belief that mentorship changes lives. That's why we are proud to continue growing the Henrico Heroes Mentorship Program, providing students with the guidance, support, and encouragement they need to thrive. As we continue expanding Henrico Heroes, we are committed to recruiting more mentors, deepening our impact, and strengthening connections between students and caring adults. Through mentorship, we are fostering belonging, resilience, and success, one student at a time. Creating a culture of belonging means that we support educators and school-based staff by providing useful professional learning opportunities. Our newest endeavor is our micro-credential program, which is a comprehensive professional development initiative for school-based staff passionate about strengthening school community connections. This program equips participants with the knowledge, strategies, and resources to foster meaningful engagement between schools, families, and community partners. In addition to our new micro-credential course, FACE is often connecting and collaborating with other HCPS departments to ensure that family engagement is woven into our practices. We continue to provide meaningful and impactful family engagement opportunities through programming at our first community school hub, the Oak Avenue Complex. This hub provides a collaborative space for our internal and external partners to engage with HCPS staff and community partners. Through various partnerships, we have provided workshops on financial literacy, mental health, and provided support for multilingual families. Events at the Oak have been a great way to connect. Hosting gatherings such as the Chess and Strategic Game Expo, the Partners in Aging Expo, and our signature All Together Tuesday events, we are touching various members of our Henrico community. We can't mention powerful family engagement without recognizing some of our trademark events and programs. The Bridge Builders Academy continues to connect families to valuable information to ensure student and family success. Our annual Back to School event continues to attract hundreds of families. It's an opportunity to connect with school staff, receive school supplies, and engage with HCPS teams and community partners. Most importantly, it fosters a sense of community amongst Henrico families. Lastly, we are excited for the return of our mobile resource center, which allows us to bring resources directly to the community. Now, we've shared a lot about the incredible work happening across Henrico, but sometimes seeing is believing. What better way to highlight our family and community engagement efforts than through the voices and moments that bring them to life? Let's take a look at this highlight reel showcasing the meaningful connections, initiatives, and impact happening throughout our school communities.
A big part of our work is bringing awareness to the community because there are so many resources that do exist across the county.
Our partners really help us do a lot of work at a higher level because they have expertise in areas that we don't.
So I think through good communication and collaboration with our partners and with our team, we always want to meet families where they are.
The beginning word begins with a capital.
Having fun in art? What y'all making? PAL is, of course, an acronym for the Police Athletic League. And here in Henrico, each year we have about 4,000 to 5,000 kids that come through. We rely on FACE to identify those families. It's all about coming together collaboratively to meet the needs of our families and our communities. Oh, it's got whistling and everything. That's a good job.
I had 3 different children, different ages, come through the program. They had a chess league, they had a basketball league that he was able to join. For my daughter, she loves to dance, so I'm seeing more of just her coming out with the outgoing personality.
FACE may encounter a family or a kid that may need additional academic support or just supervision after school. And they can contact us, and we're there for them to provide that additional support that the families need.
The Henrico Community Food Bank really was formed in response to what we saw on the ground during COVID. In 2021 is when we started our operations to serve all residents of Henrico, east, west, north, south, with supplemental groceries that will get delivered to their homes. So the partnership with Family and Community Engagement, they are instrumental in funneling information about households that need our services.
With Sudeshna, with the food bank, this was just a great opportunity to make that connection and bridge that gap for families to provide that food support.
Hello, folks. Hello. Go to your block 5, okay? Hello, folks. Hello.
Here at Quioccasin, we have a very diverse student population. So when you come into our buildings, you walk into our hallways, you see all types of people, languages spoken.
Hi. This is Afro-Latinos and their music.
We have over 35 countries represented, over 50 languages spoken within our building. So it is a very diverse student population. We have students enrolling weekly, sometimes daily, coming from different countries. And it's amazing to see how the different students and the different cultures interact here.
Huma's first block party, this was the first event we came up with just to build relationship with our families before the beginning of the school year and ensure that they have the resources for immunizations, physical, and other resources they need available to come to school. And once you build that relationship with them, they will never forget.
So we're fortunate to have programs like FACE supporting our efforts. We have a community schools resource coordinator who really supports us. He's out in the community making those connections that we may not necessarily have the time to do on a day-to-day basis.
One of the key points is if the parents are not engaged, the students won't be engaged. So having a parent involved and engaged and knowing about the school is very important.
Oh yes, look at this, beautiful. The circle of pom-poms.
So this is the Early Learning Suite at the Oak. And the main thing we do out of this space is our Learn and Play program. Learn and Play is designed for kiddos who are not yet in school to come and experience a classroom type setting and also learn through play.
I've never had any of these before.
No, you've never played with these kind of blocks before?
Nope.
When Family and Community Engagement moved into the Oak, we knew we wanted to support it. I mean, building community, helping with engagement, helping learning, that is what libraries are about. So it was a very obvious connection for us.
Does this kid need to get a bus? Are they going to school?
We're an entry point to the Oak as a whole. Many of my families at this point are utilizing the clothes closet. They're utilizing the food pantry. One of the parents is now going to the exercise class that's hosted here. That's such a huge win because we connected the folks who are already utilizing this program with other resources in Henrico County that they need.
We are coordinating between several different partners, right? And making sure that we're able to come together for a common cause.
We have to be ready to activate on a moment's notice because what we do is we are meeting families' needs, right? And you never know when that need might be or when it might come up.
So finding the right partners for us is super crucial for us to be able to impact communities at a high level.
So as always, thank you for being champions and bridge builders for our collective family and community engagement work. The beauty of our efforts is that it's truly woven into the daily fabric of Henrico County Public Schools. And so we now welcome any questions or comments.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to think who I haven't started with yet. Sure, Ms. Kinsella.
I just had one quick question. How do you identify the topics you're going to present for your bridge builders?
Yes, great question. So we often are getting feedback from community, parents, staff, students, and so we infuse that into the topics that we select. And so as we're looking at the spring and the fall, we'll take that information and make sure that we're able to provide a schedule that's reflective of the interests of the community.
I was going to say, whenever I see the schedule, it always looks like these are the hot topics, right? Or the things that we're hearing about. So it's actually nice to hear that really is how it's done because they're always so relevant. Just thank you for the hard work you do. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Irving?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for all the work that y'all do and for providing us with an update on this. The only big question I have is how much, if any, funding do we receive for these programs that comes from the federal government? Do we happen to know?
So, sorry, I turned it off, meaning to turn it on. There are a number of funding streams. Most all of this is local funding, but certainly Title I funds are leveraged for some of the positions. And so, or at least they had been when our advocates first came on board. And I know we worked to move a number of those onto the general fund, which is the continued plan. So I think it's fair to say, though, that some of our community partners rely on more federal funding streams for community aid and that sort of thing. So certainly our work isn't done in isolation. As you saw, the team really nod to some of our really relevant and strong community partners who themselves may rely on some of those funding sources.
And do we feel comfortable if those funds were to go away that we would be able to offset the disappearance of them to ensure that these programs continue on?
I think I appreciate Dr. Cashwell's answer and perspective. I do think we have a pretty robust approach to our funding. Some of our family advocates are funded through federal funds, but I would say a lot of the programs and the other offerings that we have are not. So our hope is that we would be able to continue, and I think our deep collaboration and partnerships really allow us to be pretty nimble if we were in that situation. Great point.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. This is amazing work and the kids benefit tremendously from it. I would just hate to see anything go away if the financial picture were to become less clear. So I just want to make sure that we're here to support you in any way we can.
Thanks, Mr. Young.
Thank you for the presentation. I want to commend the FACE team on being truly boots on the ground, the dedication to engaging with families beyond traditional school hours, the flexibility in meeting families where they are, and the innovative work being done at the Oak are making a real and lasting impact. It's clear this team is not only committed, but also evolving, adapting, and introducing new initiatives to strengthen family and community engagement. I wanted to give you that praise before I started asking any questions, because every time something comes up, I hear Adrian team, water crisis, reach out to Adrian's team, snow days, reach out to Adrian's team. So you guys are really, truly boots on the ground. One other thing, the school impact committees are amazing. It's bringing in businesses that are now, I'm in more than I probably should be, but everybody's invited me to the school impact committee. Okay. But it's great because we're starting to see businesses from around the community start maybe giving donations or having an input or having an impact and trying to, find funds for different, whether it's field day or T-shirts or different things. You're starting to see the community starting to rally around their schools that's right there next to them. So that's amazing. The family advocates have become backbones in our schools. Everybody knows the family advocate before they know the principal sometimes. So that's amazing what I'm hearing. I'm trying to think. I was a little disappointed that I didn't see this summer tour that you guys put on.
We're working on it.
Yeah,
it's
coming. It was amazing, but you guys went out and touched almost every community.
Yeah, and I will say, again, that's done in collaboration when I think about Dr. Hughes' team in particular. I mean, it's a really collaborative effort. So we're doing some planning now. We will be out and about this summer, so you should see the schedule pretty soon.
Okay, and I was gonna ask you almost how does FACE measure the effectiveness of its programs, and I think you measure it by keep showing us these videos, keep showing us the pictures, keep showing us the smiles on these kids' faces when you guys go out. And I do have one particular question. The Connect program, is it just only at the Oak now? Are we still in other apartment complexes and neighborhoods?
So they do have programming in neighborhoods, like they have a Connect program at St. Luke's specifically. The Oak program came to us last year sometime, and that's just one of the options that they have for the Connect program. So it's not solely at the Oak.
Perfect. All right, no questions, but keep up the amazing work. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins.
It continues to be wonderful to see the Oak continue to strengthen its roots, no pun intended, but it's nice to talk about a vision and then see it come into fruition and then come here in this moment and see both of you speak about it with a smile. It's quite refreshing. I did have the same question about the summer tours. I was wondering if that could be expanded in any way. So no response, but if that could be expanded in any way, that would be appreciated. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about our CLCs, our community learning centers. I know how impactful they are. I think I have 6 in Varina, Sanston, and Highland Springs, and those CLCs, if I'm accurate, are grant funded. And I wasn't sure if the majority of that grant funding comes from the Henrico Education Foundation or the other sources, but is the chunk of that from HEF?
Yes, so we collaboratively apply for the grant with Henrico Education Foundation.
But the Virginia Department of Education is the main funder for the grants, working through the recipients, HEF and Henrico County Public
Okay,
Schools.
I wanted clarity for our CLCs because now that I have better discernment on if it's HEF asking for money or if the bulk of that came from the federal government through HEF. And if I heard correctly, it's the federal government money coming through
These are
HEF.
specific state grants through the Virginia Department of Education targeted for this work that have been available in previous years, and we hope will continue to be available.
So my consideration for the board, particularly for our community learning centers, and we have several, I'm just aware that I have 6 in Varina, Sanston, and Highland Springs, is if we can get an update as or if changes occur. I think that we have to keep our eye on the pulse for our CLCs. And then that also leads to the Henrico Education Foundation. If the bulk of their money is coming from state-funded grants, what other areas is that touching? I think it would be important to understand that.
Yeah, we can certainly map that out. And when we receive the grants, there's usually a period of time for which we receive the funding. It could be 2 years, 3 years, and then you'd have to reapply to meet the criteria. So we have schools at different phases of, they're maybe in a first year versus coming to the end of their time in the cycle. And then certainly looking at other opportunities, whether it's through CIS or any of other partners, HEF run after school programs to make sure that we're making an impact across all schools, even those who haven't qualified for the grants, but would use a similar approach if the grants weren't available to leverage those other resources. And certainly HEF does fundraising otherwise for some of their programs, but it's a really good point. We know the impact these programs have, and we want to make sure we're going to be able to continue to provide them.
And so the other question that I have is, where do you see FACE in the next 5 to 6 years? That's a tougher one, so you don't feel like you have to answer it in this moment, but I am interested. And so having multiple conversations, I think we traveled to go see some other community centers and wondering what other pieces from your research are you going to tap into to bring to reality for the Oak Complex. So I just want you to know I'm very interested in what that vision looks like for the future. And then speaking of CIS, so community and schools, I just wanted to give a huge kudos to our CIS coordinators. I know they work wonderfully well with the FACE team, and that collaboration is such a beautiful example of how it should be done, and wanted to give you the praise in this moment. And then I had a question about challenges with support within the community and challenges abroad. So the Oak Avenue complex is for all of Henrico County Public Schools, but because of its location and being nestled in Highland Springs, I don't want to assume that the majority of engagement is from Highland Springs. I'm actually curious around how much engagement is the Oak receiving from across Henrico County? And is there anything you'd like the board to do to assist with promotion of the Oak? That was also a loaded question. So feel free to share it at a later date. But that is something I often think about because we have several things or initiatives that's intended for all of Henrico County. However, because of location, sometimes you just get that immediate community, and I'm curious as to your thoughts there.
Yeah, so I think for some of the needs-based stuff, so like our clothes closet and our food bank, we do get a lot of families from who are located closer to the Oak. However, when we have our events like our All Together Tuesdays, our Black History Month event that we just had, the Chess Expo, we are definitely getting families from across Henrico County Public Schools. And I think one is awareness, like making sure that people know that we're having these things at the Oak, and our communications team has done a wonderful job in ensuring that we're getting the word out. I'm sure you've seen it on social media and all of our platforms. And so I think for us, it's just continuing to work closely with those avenues that get the information out to the people, utilizing our FACE team who are in schools to get the information out. We also disseminate information directly to principals through their directors with a newsletter so that they have the information. So it's not just going to a certain group of, a certain population of families, right? It's going to all schools across Henrico County Public Schools. So I think it is a challenge, but it's something that we're actively working to overcome so that we can get the communication out more broadly to Henrico County Public Schools.
And I would love to add that what's very exciting about this work, you'll remember when you talked about the seeds first being planted and now root spreading and growing at the Oak. Our vision was that if this was successful, given the size and the varying needs of our county, we would be able to replicate this kind of service. So Virginia Randolph, the new building, has a community learning center hub factored into the blueprint, and Adrienne and her team have been working to think about how they would tailor that hub to meet the unique needs of the surrounding area. And Quioccasin Middle School, when it's rebuilt, will also have a hub. So that allows us geographically to have 3 community centers that will be, while some of the services may be similar, easier access to food pantries, clothing closets, and those kinds of things, some of the activities that are offered after school and on the sort of like the All Together Tuesdays would be tailored to meet the unique needs of the communities in the area. And then I'm sure they'll do some county-wide events like they're doing now and rotate those across the county. So, they're very humble and they're talking about their impact, but what they've been able to do at the Oak and the vision for scaling that for access across the county is pretty tremendous.
Thank you.
Yeah, I continue to be excited when I go over to the Oak, and I think, I'll just close with, if there's something that this board can do from a communication perspective, please let us know, because I do foresee it continuing to expand. But the only way to learn from a lesson is to know what you're trying to teach. Yes. And so please feel comfortable sharing how we can help so that as the next one comes on board, they don't have to make mistakes from the first one. Or if there's a lesson to be learned, let's make sure we learn it. And so I'll close with that, and thank you and the team so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the work in this space, but I also had so much delight seeing Quioccasin featured. I think a lot of people don't understand the rich diversity that exists within my district, and that we really see at Quioccasin, kind of in the center, all of it, and it is incredible. And that Principal Stephen shared, over 30 dozens of countries and dozens of languages being spoken in that building, and the way that your team has helped partner with that to leverage all of the benefits of having that diversity in that building, and the way that y'all have been able to amplify that with your connections in the community have really been a game changer. And I am really looking for, everyone knows I love the REQ building, and I'm like counting down the days till we open, but also to have a hub there, right? And very actively being able to support not only Quioccasin, but that broader community, that the school is very walkable to a lot of the immigrant and refugee 3 families and that sort of thing, like that location. And so I'm really excited about those synergies, really excited about the work that you're all doing there. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And I have to say the support that you all have given with the community school resource coordinators has really allowed us to expand throughout the county. So sustainable expansion has been key in really allowing us to get in schools that we may not have been in years ago. So thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you.